Hi friends, this is Susie, your Candy Crush guru, here to help you solve the puzzle of level 5601, where we have 30 moves to clear out 81 jelly. This is a nightmarishly hard level, we can tell by this midnight blue background. And with 81 squares to collect on a 9x9 grid, that means there's jelly under every single thing here. Under these thick frosting and crystal candies and licorice twirls. We've got some helpers on the board, these dispensers give us striped and wrapped candies, but we've also got, problems on the board with these candy cane fences that restrict our movement. So I want to try to utilize the fact that I only see 4 colors on the board. I want to make as many cascades as possible, try to get as many of these specials coming through as I can, and keep working to the sides here to open up along these borders. Now, even once I get these borders open, the problem is going to be, wrapped, I love that. The problem is going to be that it's going to be tough to make moves in here because we only have 2 columns. So I still may need to use the center area for most of my work and make ranged attacks that go outward. It's going to be something I have to evaluate each turn to see which is going to be the best choice. And I'll probably need some luck because on this board, it's a nightmarishly hard level. We probably need luck, but that doesn't mean I want to forget all of the skill I have. So I've got this opportunity to make a wrapped candy here. Well, if I could just extend it by 1 more orange, I can make a color bomb. So let's move this over. Now I've got a color bomb. Not only do I have a color bomb, I was going to say I've got some specials with it, but the problem is on a board with only 4 colors, it's easy to create specials. And when it's easy to create specials, it's easy to accidentally detonate specials. Now I have another opportunity. Here's a striped candy. I could move this green over here and potentially get an orange here, but that's a 1 in 4 chance. That's not nearly as good as the odds I had previously of getting things to work. So it doesn't seem like a valuable opportunity to me. Instead, I think I would rather just make a stripe and wait for that luck to show up in other forms, because if I make enough chaos here, I will get those specials coming through. And I think I'm going to choose what? I'm going to do this move right along the border here. Now, some of you may not be familiar with my style of play. What I tend to do is take the first run through to figure out what strategy I want to employ and to experiment with things. I don't have a lot of blue on the board. Let's try to take out the blue and see if we can concentrate some things down. And then what I do is I pause the recording and, here, I'm going to move this over to the side, I think. Just can't get this all together. So what I do is I experiment and then I pause the recording and I come back with another board, and hopefully that next board will be the win, but probably not on a nightmarishly hard level. Let's be honest, it's going to take a while. So if it's not the win, I want it at least to be instructive or helpful in some way. If you just want to see me beat these boards, just advance to the last 2 or 3 minutes of my recordings. But if you want to see the process I go through, I'm inviting you to come along and see me work things out and see me make mistakes so that you can say, no, Susie, you should have done this on this one. And I go, oh, yeah, you're right. Or, no, this is the reason I didn't choose it. All right, so this is one of the best options I can get on this board. Color bomb wrapped combo. It wasn't really helpful over here. I didn't have a lot of purple, but helpful enough that I have this more open now. Still not able to make a lot of moves there. 8 moves, still 25 jelly. Not only that, but of course a lot of them are still covered under layers of things. Sometimes I want to try to set things up, but remember it's kind of tough to set things up. If I were to try to set something up here, I would move this blue together and try to bring this green down, but then I noticed nope, because then, oh no, that would work because this green would fall too. So then I would have the green together and then I would try to get a color bomb. But I don't have enough moves to be that fussy with this board. So I have to be a bit more bold in my approach. Sometimes it requires taking risks. Here I can make a stripe and potentially get that green to fall in. So that seems like a reasonable choice. Of course, that didn't happen. And now I can get it to happen, but of course it took a lot of turns. Well, I can try to get it to happen. I shouldn't have said I can get it to happen. I knew as I was doing that. You don't have a sure thing there. Wrapped candies are really good if they're in the mix of things, and these are not. So at this point in time, I've kind of given up, and now I'm just seeing what kinds of things can be done. That wrapped candy, even though it wasn't positioned perfectly, was in a fairly decent spot to do quite a bit of damage for me. I do want to move in here when it seems reasonable. All right, so that's my first playthrough. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. I'll meet you back here with a new board and hopefully eventually a win. Be right back. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do this because I have less orange on the board than I do purple. So I'm trying to keep the purple around. Take out the colors that aren't very prevalent. And that gives me more specials, although I'm making these moves quickly, and that is most likely going to be to my detriment. Here we go. Color Bomb. How can I maximize that? Well, by setting it up with a special if I can manage it, but that's a bit tough to do around these parts. It's not impossible, but I also don't want to hold on to it so long that it languishes. There we go, and I've got purple on both sides of the board, so this is a good opportunity. I've got both sides somewhat open. I will keep an eye here, but I'm going to try to work mostly in here if it makes sense for me to do so. Crushing through here, although I need bigger things. I need more potency. Let's try bringing these down. Nope, still not very potent. I'm going to do this, and now I've got this striped wrapped, and it hits at the top, so it clears out that tough stuff, and now I've got this opening. And look at that, that's going to clear that out, and we're going to get cascading. So I've got a fairly decent board here. I've got some luck with me, and now I need to try to capitalize on that luck as best as possible. Yeah, I think that this is good. I'm going to risk it by doing this and trying to draw more orange down here. And now I'll go ahead and take this, and that's going to clear things out. So I rely on the cascading. This is where I've set it up, and now I need the luck to help me out. I still want to keep making some good choices, but I also need things to fall into position for me, and they're not. How would that stripe help me? I don't see that it would, but I'm really stuck on these sides of the board. And this is low to the ground, so it does create a bit of cascading opportunity. Now I've got my color bomb. Now I take out a color because I don't have time to wait, right? And I think it's going to be purple. So I take out purple, and everything concentrates down and gets drawn to this base here. And even though I didn't make it, I got close. So I think this was instructive. I'm going to leave it, and I will meet you back here on a new board in just a bit. Okay, here we go. Opening up as much as we can. Well, that was nice. Better than I expected. And then I might be able to get it set up with a wrapped. Now the problem is I don't have a lot of purple on the board. So I'm going to risk this and try to get more purple and open things up a bit more. Now there's more purple and better positioned purple. And it was worth the risk to me because as it stood, the combo wasn't good. I would have been just as good taking out an individual color and concentrating things down. But thankfully I got a bit of luck to help out. Now what? I don't like any of my moves. I don't see anything lining up. I can't take out blue or purple easily to concentrate things down. Let's do this. Well, that made some nice chaos there. But I have to say that was more instinctive than visual. I just thought something might happen if I do that right there. Okay, so I will make this stripe and set it off up here and hope for some good cascading. This isn't bad. We've got that open a bit now. And I'm going to take this out. And now I've got a wrapped combo or a striped wrapped. I'm going to go for the striped wrapped and hope the wrapped still exists, but it's okay if it doesn't. And this will have impact right here and all the way down here, and it'll draw things through. And it just is so explosive on the board. See how we get all of these other things draining in, other opportunities. Now this is in a really poor position for me to try to set it up with a special, even with things coming in, because we've got such limited space. So I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to take out purple and see if that gives me more matches and specials. No astounding color bombs like I'd hoped. A lot of purple back in here, so that's not really great. Let's go ahead and make some chaos. There we go, look at that. Those of you who like chaos levels, this is one where chaos can be helpful. I don't see how to get that orange through there, so I'll take this side and this side, and now I'm a bit stuck. Oops, hello. Let's come over here and see if we can get unstuck. That's not spectacular. I think I need to use this central area. It's hard to know where to play what. I'm going to go for this bit of cascading here. That gives me a color bomb. And now I think if I do this, I set these up. And this is the kind of thing I need to have happen late in the game. And this is the kind of board where if I'm almost going to be able to get this and not quite, I might consider bringing in some boosters to help. Might. But it's looking good. I could do this, but this is better because it hits all the way down. And then I'll just have one layer left to get to. All right, well, there we go. I hate to say this, I lost track of how many turns it took. But I think it was under 20. It was, well, let's say between 20 and 25 is a fairly good estimate, or between 18 and 25. Because I don't think it took me many more than that. But it is one that's going to be, you know, based a bit on luck, and you just have to be vigilant to make sure that you're looking at every opportunity so you can capitalize on that luck. If this was helpful, I'd ask that you consider liking and subscribing. If you have any questions or comments, please put those below. And as always, thank you so much for watching.